Davies, I want to start, my questions are about the Western Distributor business case. So Infrastructure Australia is assessing the Western Distributor, is that the case?
So Philip Davies, CEO of Infrastructure Australia, yes, that's correct. We're currently assessing the business case for Western Distributor.
So what's the stage that you're at with the assessment of the Western Distributor?
So we've started the assessment, and we're in the stage of seeking clarifications and having an ongoing dialogue with the Victorian government.
So what have you got in terms of documentation from the Victorian government? Have you, in terms of the business cases that have been provided to you?
So we're assessing the Victorian government business case for Western Distributor.
So that's the complete business case? When I was talking to Mr. Murdoch earlier, he said that the department only had the reference case. So you've got the full Victorian government?
No, so it's the reference case. It doesn't include any material from Transurban.
Right. Will you be getting the full business case with material from Transurban?
No, I don't believe so.
Do you think that's an issue with your assessment of the project, that you haven't got the full detailed business case?
So our assessment is in regard to potential future funding from the Commonwealth. So that business case has come from the Victorian government.
But in terms of your assessment as to how valuable a project is, I would have thought that you would need to have all of the detail that the Victorian government had and that Transurban had as their proposal as to how effective it was going to be at solving the transport problems.
So we're assessing the strategic merit of the project and also the economic business case against the problem which it's defining.
Do you think you could do a better job of assessing the strategic merit if you had the full Transurban Victorian government business case?
So in terms of how the project's delivered, that's a matter for the Victorian government.
But in terms of its effectiveness, surely the business case, particularly the transport modelling and the economic modelling, in terms of being a solution to be solving transport problems, that would be, there's more detail obviously available than is being made available to you.
So the reference case is providing us with all the detail we need to do our assessment, including transport modelling and so on.
In terms of interrogating the transport modelling, how are you being able to do that? Are you doing your own assessment of your own modelling of the transport of the area?
We take a standard approach to these assessments, so we don't undertake our own benefit cost ratio, we don't undertake our own modelling. What we're doing is reviewing the work that's been done by the proponent, so in this case the Victorian government. So we're looking at their work, and that's why, as I mentioned at the start, there's a toing and froing in terms of we seek clarifications, and on occasion we ask them to run additional model runs and those kinds of things, so that we can fully understand what it is we're looking at.
Have you asked them to do that in this case?
So as I mentioned, that's an ongoing process. Yeah.
So that assessment, one of the problems in the transport modelling and the economic modelling hasn't been released to the public. There has been a business case released, but the transport modelling and the economic modelling have been redacted from that business case. So you haven't got that full detail either, is what you're telling me.
No, so we've got as the Secretary mentioned earlier in regards to the department, we've got the full reference case.
But is there further modelling that's done? I mean, you've got the reference case, but then there is a more detailed business case, or a more accurate, or more. What's the difference between the reference case and the other business case that you haven't got?
So I think you're referring to the business case that. Or the submission that's been made by Transurban to the Victorian government. So we're not party to that. It's a commercial decision for the Victorian government. What we do have is the reference case that has taken that on board, and that's presented to us as part of our assessment.
So you have got all of the details of all of the transport modelling and the economic modelling that has been done for the project as part of your reference case? Or is there other more detailed transport modelling and more detailed economic modelling that you are not privy to?
So we've got all the material that is integral to that reference case.
Yes, but is there more modelling in terms of transport modelling or economic modelling that you do not have?
That's a matter for the Victorian government. We're not aware of what else they've done in terms of their own work, in terms of other options.
Would you be able to confirm for me whether you know that whether there is other information that the Victorian government have that you haven't been given?
We're not aware of that. We're not aware of what other work they've been doing.
Okay, and you don't feel that you need to ask to have all the information in order to be able to do an accurate assessment of the effectiveness of the project?
So what we do seek is consistent with other assessments. If we would like other information that would help us do the assessment, then we'll ask for that information.
Do you know of the existence of independent peer reviews that have been done of the transport modelling and the economic modelling?
So I'm not aware of that. I'll refer to my colleagues to.
Well, I asked Mr. Murdoch the same, the question before, but within Infrastructure Australia.
Perhaps Ms. Chow can comment on that.
Anna Chow, Executive Director, Project Advisory. We understand there has been some peer review of traffic models.
Have you tried to?
Sorry, I might move that closer. Is that better?
Yep.
Yes.
We understand that there have been some peer review, but we have not seen the results of those.
Do you think that it would be valuable to you to see the results of those peer reviews?
It would be in terms of the actual recommendations.
So are you going to be requesting those independent peer reviews?
We have asked for other information as part of our review.
Have you requested the independent peer reviews?
We'll take that on notice.
Ask a question.
No. Well, you say you have requested other information, but you must know whether given you know that the independent peer reviews exist, whether you have requested them or not. Yes or no?
Well, she's answered the question.
No. Well, it's a very.
No, don't
5 minutes is now
witness.
nearly 10, so get on with it.
You know.
Well, I'm waiting for an answer.
Well,
You've got your answer.
Given
No.
you an answer.
No, there's an this is a very important point.
No worries. Ask
We
your
have got
question again.
we have got
on,
independent
quick.
peer reviews that have been done.
That's right.
That I would expect would be critical for your assessment of the project to have copies of those independent peer reviews.
So Senator, if I may, it's normal for peer reviews to be done on all projects. Now, we're not party to, as your earlier question, we're not party to all the work that Victoria has done in relation to this opportunity, or what peer reviews they've done. So what we focus on is the business case that is presented to us, and where we feel we need more information, then we go and seek that information through our questioning, requests for more information, and so on. So. My understanding is that there are independent peer reviews that may indeed be critical of the business case that you have been presented with. Don't you think that it would be valuable for you to know of those, any potential criticisms of the economic modelling and the transport modelling that has been done? So I think that work would be confidential to the Victorian government. If they wish to share that with us, that's a matter for the Victorian government. Part of our role is to do our own assessment, so that's the process. We're doing at the moment.
Are you going to be doing your own independent transport modelling of the Western Distributor, or are you taking their transport modelling on trust, and you don't even know what the results of the independent peer review of their transport modelling that has been done? You seem to be not very interested in acquiring it.
So as an independent body, our review is independent, and we will. As we do with other assessments, we continue to seek additional information. If any component of the business case we feel is lacking information, we'll go back and seek that. We'll ask for sensitivity analysis, very commonly to be run particularly on transport modelling, so that we can fully understand how sensitive those models are and what the underlying assumptions are and the sensitivity of those assumptions. So. And that's very much part of the work that we do as an independent body.
So are you doing that for the Western Distributor
We are,
transport
yes.
modelling? And will those results be made public?
So as with all our assessments, we make those assessments public once they're
Thank you very
complete
much.
and presented to our board.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.